Have you ever felt that God was asking you to move forward, but He did not give you the full plan? Perhaps you sensed a calling, or maybe you are in a season of waiting, and you are unsure what comes next. Today, we are reflecting on the life of Abraham and what his journey teaches us about faith, obedience, and trusting God's promises. Welcome to Walking with the Lord. This is a quiet space where we slow down, open Scripture, and learn how to walk faithfully and grow deeply in His Word. If this message encourages you, I invite you to subscribe and share it with someone who may need this reminder. When we open the book of Genesis, Abraham stands at the beginning of God's covenant relationship with His people. However, his story is not simply a historical account. Instead, it reveals what genuine faith looks like when the future is uncertain. In Genesis chapter 12, God tells Abraham to leave his country, his relatives, and his father's house and go to a land that He would show him. Notice that God does not provide a detailed explanation. He does not describe the destination or outline a timeline. He simply gives a promise. And Abraham went. This moment reveals one of the most important lessons from Abraham. Faith is not passive agreement with God's words. Rather, it is active obedience in response to His voice. Abraham moved forward, even though he did not have all the details. So often we want clarity before we commit. Yet Abraham teaches us that obedience often comes first, and understanding follows later. As his journey continued, however, the fulfillment of God's promise did not happen quickly. God promised that Abraham would become the father of a great nation. Yet years passed, and he and Sarah remained childless. Waiting has a way of stretching our faith. Over time, even strong believers can grow weary when the promise seems delayed. At one point, Abraham and Sarah attempted to fulfill God's promise through their own plan. This reminds us that faith does not mean perfection. Even those who trust God can struggle with impatience and uncertainty. Nevertheless, God did not withdraw His covenant. Instead, He remained faithful to what He had spoken. Eventually, when Abraham was 100 years old and Sarah was well beyond childbearing age, Isaac was born. What once seemed impossible became reality. This part of Abraham's story teaches us another powerful truth. God's delays are not denials. His timing is intentional and purposeful. While we are waiting, He is shaping our character and deepening our trust. In Genesis chapter 15, verse 6, we read these foundational words. Abraham believed the Lord, and He credited it to him as righteousness. Abraham was not declared righteous because he was flawless. He was declared righteous because he believed God. This shifts our focus from striving to trusting. Our relationship with God is not built on perfect performance, but on faith in His character. Then we come to one of the most challenging moments in Abraham's life. In Genesis chapter 22, after finally receiving the promised son, Abraham is told to offer Isaac as a sacrifice. At first glance, this command appears to contradict everything God had promised. Yet Abraham obeyed. As he walked up Mount Moriah, Abraham demonstrated extraordinary trust. According to Hebrews chapter 11, he believed that God could even raise Isaac from the dead if necessary. His obedience was not rooted in confusion, but in confidence that God would remain faithful. At the final moment, God provided a ram in Isaac's place. This event reveals another essential lesson from Abraham. True faith holds nothing back from God. It trusts Him even when obedience feels costly. It believes that God will provide, even when the outcome is unclear. Throughout Abraham's life, we also see that God's covenant extended far beyond him. God promised that all nations would be blessed through Abraham. Although he could not see the full picture, his obedience became part of a plan that would impact generations. In the same way, our faithfulness today may influence people and outcomes we may never fully witness. So what do the lessons from Abraham mean for you right now? If God is calling you to take a step forward, trust Him enough to move. If you are in a season of waiting, remain faithful and allow Him to shape your heart. If obedience feels costly, remember that God is your provider. Faith is not knowing every detail of the journey. It is trusting the one who calls you to take the first step. If this reflection encouraged you, consider sharing it with someone who may be navigating a season of uncertainty. And continue walking faithfully and growing deeply in His Word at walkingwiththelord.net.